Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we are going to talk about Matt Smith and the 11th Doctor's era. And my question is the 11th Doctor's era underrated or overrated? Or do you think the fandom kind of has it about right? I personally think the fandom has it about right. I think Matt Smith's era suffers from kind of the same thing all of Moffat's era does, because the Capaldi era has as well, whereas most of his work is a mixed bag. He doesn't have any flawless series like Eccleston's first season and Tennant's third and fourth seasons, where they're pretty much just, bang on without really a whole lot of bad stories, if any bad stories. All of Smith's era kind of suffers from being a mixed bag. Now, Series 5 is the strongest. I do think it's perhaps a bit overrated. Some people say it's just as good as like Series 4. I don't think that's true. I do think there are some duds in Series 5. But it's still, I think, Matt Smith's strongest season in terms of writing and in terms of just his performance as the Doctor. I really like his more subdued take on the Doctor in Series 5. He becomes a little more cartoonish later. In a bubble, that's fine, but in compared to how he is in Series 5, I don't care for it quite as much, even though I do very much really enjoy his Doctor. Now, most people talk about Capaldi's Doctor and how he's a great Doctor in an average era. Y'all have heard me say that a million times. And I've met a lot of other fans who say the same thing, that his era doesn't match the quality of his Doctor. And I feel like Matt Smith is the same way, but he doesn't get as much credit in that regard. You don't hear as much talk about it. But I do think Matt Smith is a really good Doctor. I really like his Doctor, but I just feel like he didn't quite get some of the stories he should have. He still has excellent episodes, much like Capaldi does, but he just doesn't have that perfect season. Let's go over and look at his seasons. We'll start with season 5. Let's see. Let's start with Series 5, his strongest season. I love the 11th Hour. I really like The Beast Below. I think it's underrated. Victory of the Daleks grows on me every time I see it. When I initially saw it, I didn't think much of it. But I actually am quite fond of Victory of the Daleks now. It's nice to have a Dalek story where the Daleks win. It really is a victory of the Daleks. So that is one that's grown on me. I like Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone. I like Vampires of Venice. I think it's a really neat idea and take. See, and then there's Amy's Choice, which is my first one I don't really like for the series. As much as I love Toby the guy playing the Dream Lord, he's great. I just don't care for the story and the setup. It just kind of bores me. Then you have the Silurian two-parter, which I don't get into. I do not like the Modern Who Silurian design. I don't like that story. And then there's Vincent and the Doctor. You guys know I'm not a big fan of Vincent and the Doctor. I find that one quite possibly the second most overrated story in all of Doctor Who, behind Midnight. Actually, that's not true. I think it might be more overrated than Midnight, because Midnight is objectively great, whereas this one I have objective flaws with. Although there's still some great moments in it. And then there's The Lodger, which I really enjoy, actually. It's easily the best of the two Craig stories. And then the Pandorica two-parter, which is okay. Not great, not bad, has some clever ideas in it. I like it. So really it only has 4 episodes I don't like. Amy's Choice, the Silurian two-parter, and Vincent and the Doctor. So 2/3 of it I really enjoy to one extent or another. Pretty strong season. If it just didn't have those stories in the middle, kind of hurting it a bit. And we move on to Series 6. Series 6 is kind of where things start to go downhill. Stephen Moffat starts getting a little too clever for himself. He's got so much going on between Doctor Who, Sherlock, and I'm sure this is when he was working on the 10/10 movie stuff. I like A Christmas Carol, if you want to count that. It is probably my favorite Christmas special we've gotten in the modern series. I really enjoy that. Michael Gambon is amazing. I love the Impossible Astronaut two-parter. That's really good. I enjoy Curse of the Black Spot. It's not one I watch a lot, but it's one I like to go back and watch like every 7 or 8 years, just when I'm in the mood for something different. I don't dislike it, but I'm not just chomping at the bit to go watch it. It's when I'm in the mood for something different. The Doctor's Wife, of course, really good. I really enjoyed The Doctor's Wife. Neil Gaiman is just amazing in that one. Great story. The Rebel Flesh Almost People, I don't like this one. I don't understand why other people like this one. Well, it's teaching a lesson about... I don't care. I don't care. I don't watch shows like Doctor Who because I want to learn life lessons. I watch Doctor Who to escape all of that. So I can have some fun, have a TV show I like that I've watched since I was 3 or 4 years old. I don't go to it to go teach me about, how people have suffered. I don't care. I don't watch Doctor Who for that. I watch Doctor Who to be entertained. And this story, for the most part, doesn't entertain me. I like the little bit at the end when you find out the Doctor and the Flesh traded shoes. That's really neat. But for the most part, I find the story really not interesting. A Good Man Goes to War. I really like A Good Man Goes to War. I think that one's really good. It's a great mid-season finale. It works well as a mid-season finale. I really enjoy it. Would have liked to have seen the Doctor call in some more favors from other people, like maybe some people from the classic show. But I enjoy it. Let's Kill Hitler. Let's not. Well, Kill Hitler, fine, but let's not watch it because it's just not interesting. I don't know. I don't care for it. I find it uninteresting. I find it a waste of time. Feels like filler. I'm definitely not invested in Mel, as if we've never been introduced to her before. Maybe if they'd introduced Mel in Series 5, it would have had a little more of an impact with the revelation, but as it is, Night Terrors, I think, sucks. This is one of Matt Smith's worst episodes. I cannot stand Night Terrors. I don't care for it. The Girl Who Waited, beautiful. Love that one. Well written. Karen Gillan is amazing in this. Arthur is amazing in this. It's nice to see the Doctor kind of sidelined and it be more about the relationship with Amy and Rory. I really, really, really like The Girl Who Waited. It's definitely one that helps bolster the season. The God Complex, you guys know I don't really like The God Complex. It's executed and directed really, 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 really well, but the script is trash. Kind of like the opposite of The Power of Kroll. So, God Complex is an odd one too, because I can never quite remember if it's in Series 5 or Series 6. Like, if you asked me, when I hadn't looked at this in a while, I'd be like, Series 6, 5, 6, 6, 5. I can never remember which one it's part of for some reason. But as it is, I don't like it. I think it's a really trash script. Closing Time is okay. I like it. It's nice to have Craig back. It works for me because I like the relationship between the 11th Doctor and Craig. I really enjoy that. The ending is dumb and stupid and kind of pulls it down. But it's okay. It's a nice watch when I'm in the mood for it. And The Wedding of River Song, I enjoy, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense and it's kind of weird. I enjoy. It's one of those I can just turn my brain off and enjoy. So, again, mixed bag. And let's go with Series 7. Now, Series 7 seems to be a lot of people's least favorites of his era. I know a lot of people don't like Series 7, especially 7B. I personally think this one is underrated, but still having its duds. The Doctor, the Winter, and the Wardrobe. Let's not go there. Asylum of the Daleks, I like. It has got way too many flaws. It has flaws. Don't get me wrong, it has flaws. But I enjoy it. It amuses me. It doesn't make any sense, but it amuses me. Dinosaurs on the Spaceship. Don't really care for that one. Doesn't do much for me. A Town Called Mercy, I like. I think that one's really good. Kind of shows what happens when the Doctor travels alone for too long. I like it. Power of Three. It has a few moments I like in it, and I like that it introduces Kate, but for the most part, it's forgettable. A sign of what was to come from that writer. The Angels Take Manhattan. This is, to me, where the Weeping Angels just jumped the shark, and where they became utterly meaningless. Ever since this story on, I've never really cared for the Weeping Angels. I like their first 2 appearances. That's about it. The Snowmen, I really enjoy. I think it's a great Christmas special. I really like it. I love Richard E. Grant as the Great Intelligence. I'm glad they brought the Great Intelligence back. This was my first introduction to him, as I still haven't seen Abominable Snowman. At the time this originally aired, I hadn't seen Web of Fear yet. Rings of Akatan, I don't really care for. It's another one of those I like to rewatch just every blue moon. The speech is good at the end, but I don't really care for it. Cold War, I like. I think Cold War is really good. Anything with, David Warner. Anything with David Warner in it, I'll watch at least once. I like David Warner. And plus, it's nice to see the Ice Warriors back. I like how they portrayed the Ice Warriors in it. Hyde, I really like. Think it's a very underrated story. Love how it changes genres throughout the episode, which I really like. Journey of the Center of the TARDIS, I think is crap. Moving on. Crimson Horror. This is weird because I've talked several times about how I like this one, think it's underrated. But I noticed I haven't gone back and watched it in a really long time, which is a bit telling. Because I've always liked I've always liked Crimson Horror. I think it's a very tongue-in-cheek adventure, and as long as you go into it knowing what it is and that's all you expect from it, you'll enjoy it. But I haven't ever found myself wanting to go back and rewatch it. I just haven't wanted to, so that could be a bit telling in it. Nightmare in Silver I reviewed recently. It's and the Name of the Doctor I like. It does a really good job, has one of the best intros of a Doctor Who story ever, and then does a good job setting up the 50th, so it's a good story. And then there's the 50th, which I like. It's good. It does celebrate more of modern Who than it does Doctor Who as a whole, but I enjoyed it, and it did have some really wonderful moments in it. Not my favorite multi-Doctor story, but a good multi-Doctor story. And then Time of the Doctor is good. Not great, but good. Probably my least favorite regeneration story of the modern series thus far, but still good. I like it. So yeah, I think the Matt Smith era, I think Matt Smith is a good Doctor in a maybe slightly above average era or average era, much like what I think Capaldi suffers from, and I think that's just the Moffat era in general. I think he got too clever, and his seasons tend to be very uneven with really good episodes, really bad episodes, and mediocre episodes. So what do you think? Do you think Matt Smith's era is underrated, overrated, or do you think the fandom has it about right? That's its sweet spot right there in the middle. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I always enjoy finding out what you think. Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon if you would like to contribute to that. There is a link to that down in the description below, so check that out. I certainly appreciate it. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.